We're nearing the end of the year, so what were the standout social trends for 2015? Here with a look at some of the year's trends, as well as a prediction about the thing we'll all be talking about in 2016, is Foursquare editor-at-large Sarah Spagnolo. Sarah, great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get into all of this, how does Foursquare figure out what people are talking about?
All right, well, Foursquare, the company, is all about meaningful location intelligence, and we have several products, which includes 2 consumer apps, the app Foursquare, which is about discovering new places, and the app Swarm, which is for checking in and finding your friends. And we looked at data from those 2 consumer apps to identify the food, drink, and travel trends that really swept the United States this year, and we're highlighting them today.
So let's go back a little bit. What was the first sort of food trend that you picked up on?
At the beginning part of the year, we saw something really interesting, which is food trucks sort of had a demise, and Hawaiian restaurants and poke saw an upsurge. Poke is actually a Hawaiian mainstay dish. It's actually translates to segment or to cut. It's a raw fish salad, and we saw people getting really excited about this. It's not surprising. People love Asian food.
Did you see this surge across the country, or just in certain areas?
We did. We saw it. I mean, it's focused more primarily on the West Coast, which makes sense because it's a Hawaiian snack, but it's something that's really taken over in major cities. We see it available here in New York, and was one thing that was really exciting to see at the beginning part of this year.
And another food trend you guys picked up on was an old classic served in a new way, right?
Right. So the humble fried chicken sandwich, which has long been a comfort food, we saw that come back in a huge way this year, and that's because hip and cool chefs like David Chang in New York brought it to the forefront of their menus. David Chang himself opened Fugu and Fugu Plus, which got a lot of acclaim and excitement, and then other restaurants such as Delaney Chicken, which is in the new Midtown Food Hall, Urban Space Vanderbilt, they launched a fried chicken sandwich, so we really saw that take off, and we expect that to continue into 2016 as well.
Now, what about this trend in drinks? It's something I've noticed that has been added to my Equinox smoothies all the time, this thing called matcha.
Right, matcha.
What is it exactly?
Matcha is a historic, ancient green tea. It actually comes from Japan from many, many hundreds of years ago. It's a mainstay in the Japanese tea ceremonies, and we've seen it come up here in New York and also in San Francisco. People are serving it in terms of like exactly what you said. It's thought to have a lot of wellness attributes, so it's thought to increase metabolism, to help calm the body and the mind, and we've seen that really take off. And
so interesting.
There are actually standalone matcha restaurants and cafes that we're seeing take off in the United States.
Standalone matcha restaurants. Yeah. Wow, got to check that out. Now, when the Pope came to visit, what was a result of his visit?
So this was really interesting. Foursquare has foot traffic panel data, and we look at where people are going, not just based on check-ins, but based on implicit visits. And what we identified was that there was actually a surge in visits to churches the week before the Pope came to town in September.
Wow.
So he was here from the 19th to 27th. Also of note was that St. Petersburg Cathedral reopened after its mega renovation in New York as well. So all of these things contributed to further attention on the church and an increase of visits to churches.
Did that surge disappear after he left?
It did.
That's so interesting.
It did. So we saw it actually the week before he came, and again, the attention on the Pope when he was here, and then we saw that fall afterwards.
It rained. All right. Now, looking ahead to 2016, how can you predict what people are going to be talking about?
So what we looked at is basically a surge in taste. So we saw an increase of people talking about Latin American tastes like cacao, like coconut milk. We also saw a surge in people going to Cuban, Caribbean, and Peruvian restaurants. This is very much in line with a lot of the hotel development that we've seen. There's a new JW Marriott that just opened in Peru, for example. All eyes on Latin America we're expecting in 2016.
Works for me. Tostones, Cuban sandwich. I'm half Cuban. It all works for me. I'll be there anyway, whether it's a trend or not.
Tomorrow is also the anniversary of Obama changing our relationship with Cuba, so very timely, and we're excited to see that we believe that people will be focusing much more on Latin America in 2016.
One piece of advice, make sure your tostones are double fried, very crispy. That's the way to do it. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that.